Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful queen in a great kingdom. Her beauty was because of her long, thick, golden hair. Her hair was so long that it touched the ground. The queen loved her hair very much, and the king also loved the queen because of her beautiful hair. But with time, the queen became proud and arrogant because of her beauty. One day, the queen was standing in her garden palace when a little yellow bird came flying. The yellow bird was shivering from the cold. The bird came close to the queen and said, "Oh, queen, you are so beautiful. Your hair is so lovely." At first, the queen was shocked to see a yellow bird talking, but then she said, "You can talk?" The yellow bird replied, "Yes, I can talk. I need your help." The queen asked, "What help do you want?" The bird said, "You are so graceful and beautiful, and your hair is long and soft. Please cut a little piece of your hair and give it to me. I will keep it in my nest. Your soft and silky hair will keep me warm in this cold weather." When the queen heard this, she became angry and said, "My hair is too beautiful to keep in your dirty nest. I will never give you even a single strand." The yellow bird listened quietly and said nothing. It started flying around the queen and sang a strange song. "When autumn comes, the queen will lose her hair. When rain falls, leaves will return, but the queen's hair will not." The yellow bird sang this again and again, then flew away. But the queen didn't care about the yellow bird's curse. Days passed. Slowly, the leaves began to fall from the trees, and the queen's hair also started falling, strand by strand. At first, the queen ignored it, but after some time, half of her hair was gone. She cried and ran to the king, telling him everything that had happened. The king laughed and said, "What nonsense! How can a little bird harm you? It's just some hair. Don't worry, it will grow back." Then he left. The queen tried many oils and medicines on her head, but nothing worked. One night, a great storm came. The wind blew wildly, and the trees lost all their leaves. In the morning, when the queen woke up and looked outside, every tree was bare. She ran to the mirror and screamed. Not a single hair was left on her head. She was completely bald. She cried loudly, filling the palace with her sorrow. When the king heard this, he rushed to her. He was shocked to see her bald. The king called all the wise healers of the kingdom, but no medicine or oil could bring her hair back. The queen was heartbroken. She fainted again and again whenever she saw another woman's hair. So the king gave an order. All women must cover their hair. No one should show their hair in front of the queen. Everyone in the kingdom obeyed. Every girl and woman wore a scarf or cloth to hide her hair. But still, the queen was not at peace. She said to the king, "Order every woman in the kingdom to cut off her hair." And because the king loved her deeply, he agreed. He announced, "Tomorrow, every woman and girl must gather at the palace. Their hair will be cut." This news spread through the kingdom like fire. In that same kingdom lived a poor but handsome shoemaker who loved his wife very much. When his wife heard this, she cried bitterly. The shoemaker saw her sorrow and held her all night, trying to comfort her. The next day, all the women and girls gathered outside the palace. The king called out the first woman's name and said, "Cut her hair." Just then, the shoemaker stepped out from the crowd and shouted, "Wait, O king, give me 10 days. If I fail to bring back the queen's hair, then you may cut my wife's hair. But if I succeed, spare them all." The king agreed and said, "If you bring the queen's hair back, I will give you half of my kingdom." The shoemaker bowed and set off on his journey. He had once heard from his mother that 2 kingdoms away, across a great river, lived a witch. That witch had magical oil whoever put them on their head would grow long and thick hair again. The fisherman began his journey. He walked through deserts, forests, and mountains until he reached the river. Beside the river stood a small boat, and near it were 3 trees, one made of gold, one of diamonds, and one of apple. When the shoemaker saw them, he was amazed. He picked some gold coins from the golden tree, diamonds from the diamond tree, and a few apple from the apple tree to eat. Then he sat in the boat and began to sail. As the boat moved in the river, a colorful parrot came and sat beside him. The shoemaker thought it must be hungry, so he fed it some apple. After eating, the parrot suddenly spoke. The shoemaker was shocked. The parrot said, "I know where you are going. Because you fed me, I will help you. When this boat stops at the seashore, walk a little ahead. You will find a magical mountain that talks. That mountain will tell you the rest of your way." Then the parrot flew away. The boat soon stopped at the seashore. The shoemaker got down and walked until he reached the forest. After crossing it, he stood before a huge mountain. He touched the mountain, and suddenly the mountain shook. Eyes, mouth, and ears appeared on its surface, and it spoke in a deep voice. "Who dares disturb my sleep? What do you want?" The shoemaker said, "I am looking for the oil. The oil can be found with a witch there." The mountain said, "I can take you there, but first you must answer my riddle. If you answer right, I'll open the way." The shoemaker nodded. "Ask me your riddle." The mountain said, "I am precious and rare. Kings desire me. People search for me in seas and mountains. I have no ears, yet I whisper in ears. Guess who I am?" The shoemaker thought deeply. Then he took out a gold coin and held it up. The mountain roared, "Give it to me! Give it to me! You are right, the answer is gold." The shoemaker said, "I will give it to you if you take me to the witch." The mountain agreed. It opened its mouth wide, and the shoemaker stepped inside. The mountain began to shake to make him drop the coin, but he held it tightly and kept walking. Soon he reached the witch's cave. She was an old woman stirring something in a pot. She saw him and shouted, "Who are you? How did you come here?" The shoemaker said, "I am looking for the oil that can grow hair." The witch laughed loudly. "You foolish man! Why would I give such magic to a common human? Never!" Then she added, "Unless you give me something that pleases me." The shoemaker thought for a while and gave her the gold coin. The witch didn't care. Then he took out the diamonds, and when the witch saw them, her eyes widened. She screamed, "Give me those! I will give you the hair-growing oil." The shoemaker agreed. He gave her the diamonds, took the oil, and hurried out of the mountain. He threw all his gold coins inside the mountain's mouth as thanks, and started his journey back. Meanwhile, in the kingdom, the 10 days had passed. The king had gathered all the women again. He ordered, "Start cutting their hair." The royal barber stepped forward and touched the shoemaker's wife's hair. But just then, a voice cried out, "Stop!" It was the shoemaker! He came running and shouted, "I have brought the oil!" He took out the magical oil and gave them to the queen. The queen quickly said, "Put them on my head." The shoemaker sprinkled the oil on her bald head. At once, soft golden hair began to grow. It reached her shoulders, then her waist, and finally touched the floor. The queen looked at herself in the mirror and smiled with joy. The king was so happy that he kept his promise. He gave half of his kingdom to the shoemaker. And from that day, the shoemaker and his wife ruled the kingdom with kindness and peace. If you enjoy this story, please like the video and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.